I'm working for Metallica and I'm working for Guns N' Roses, right? I'm currently on tour with Metallica, and we start talking about the GNR Metallica package, that tour going out. So now I'm going to shoot both bands. Lars catches wind of this and says, well, I don't want you shooting Guns N' Roses. I only want you shooting us. So I got to call Opie, the production manager at the time, and I say, look, Lars wants me, to pick a band. And, and he goes, all right, let me call Axel. Opie calls him back a little while later and says, how much do you want? Right. And I said, well, they're going to give me this. So he goes, all right, we'll give you that. And I said, okay. So now I got to call Lars, and I tell Lars, look, I didn't tell him this, but look, your little plan backfired.
Yeah, right.
And now I'm not shooting you,
yeah, right.
Yeah. So Lars had Tony DiCiaccio call Opie to confirm how much they were paying me. Then Lars calls me back to basically curse me out and call me a traitor and whatever. And I'm like, look, I really, I don't care. So now the ill-fated night, this is how long ago it was. And Doug, we might have to explain. I'm going to reference something to you kids. There used to be a thing called a Game Boy.
Right? Come on, I grew up with Game Boys. Come on, 38. Yeah. I had a Game Gear.
So Metallica is playing, and I'm sitting on a road case because Guns N' Roses is going to go next. And I'm playing my Game Boy. I'm playing a game, and I'm playing a game, and all of a sudden I hear this horrific guitar noise. Crank, 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 crank. And everyone's like, James is hurt, James is burnt. So we all run to the stage.
Yeah, right.
So by the time I got there, they were, the medical team was bringing him off. Well, what happened was the guy that was shooting it, who was their guy, used to shoot it in Europe for them. They had moved, so like you said, they had moved some monitors and they had moved a piece of pyro. And James walked to his spot. So he's playing guitar. So he's got his arm, he's like this, right? So the pyro thing is right here. So here's the pyro, and his arm was right here. And he walked to his cue, to his spot.
His normal cue.
And then they shot the pyro, but then he did like a half a step, and he actually passed his arm. So the pyro was coming up as he passed his arm through it. So it was like such a freak accident to happen, So the pyro guys, James stopped. So the pyro guy hit the cue. Then James did that little half a step extra and put his arm right over it. Wow. And then the riot ensued. And then, yeah.
Where were you during the riot? Where were you? Were you hiding around?
I was spraying kids with a fire extinguisher.
I was going to say, he doesn't hide from anybody.
I was like, fuck you guys. Well, to keep them off the stage. You spray the front row with a dry chemical fire extinguisher, they get the fuck out of your way. No, we were there. We were throwing kids off the stage. We were just, some of them tried to get up there, and then it was grab the guitars. After all the big ticket items, after the guitars, were put away, and a couple of other things, and then by that time, we had a full wall of security, and they were, they were cleaning out the building. But no, that was not a couple of times I've stood my ground with a fire extinguisher.